Hi everyone, welcome to Delta Resource Staffing, the channel where we bring you the up-to-date posted in the job market. With a little background on myself, being in the software development industry for over a decade, played multiple roles, and especially within the consulting ecosystem, software developer, software designer, that's an architect role, solutions architect, technical architect. I've also played roles like a scrum master, project manager, be it in an agile or waterfall setting. I could also play the role of a business analyst. I could also play advisory roles. I've been um, in the consulting ecosystem all my life. Now, today we're going to talk about a company, Aon. Aon has posted some interesting job opportunities that I thought I should share with everyone on this channel, right? What kind of company is Aon? Aon is a professional services and management consulting firm that actually specializes in different verticals. And when I say verticals, I mean industries. Industries like risk management, healthcare, human capital, insurance, and of course reinsurance solutions. So I'll be taking a look at two job postings from Aon. I encourage you to go in there after watching this video, apply for the jobs. They are in multiple locations. Yes, it says hybrid, but if you scroll down to the bottom of the page, you see where it says in person, hybrid, or remote. Always welcome to ask your hiring manager if you can work remotely. I know a couple of people are also trying to go into the office to work. Please just be free to tell them what you want them to be scared, right? And with that being said, let's jump right into it. The first requirement here would be the role of a product manager, US wine and flood, and of course impact forecasting. Location is Chicago, Illinois. So if you're willing to relocate or you are in the Chicago area, please feel free to apply to this job. And one thing I noticed, yes, it's mentioned in Chicago here. Be flexible enough to go into the Aon website, their careers, and apply. I see a lot of positions there with multiple locations, which might actually fall under where you are if you're not looking to relocate, right? So jumping into the job description, Aon is looking for a wine and flood product manager. The key word here is a product manager. Who is a product manager? A product manager is actually someone, like I mentioned in my last video, someone who actually knows the product in and out. They do not necessarily have to have been involved in the manufacturing or the initiation to releasing to the market of that product, but they can study that product, get to know that product, and of course know how the business units or the business teams actually use this particular product, because different business units might be using the product differently, right? Okay, looking to have an overall impact as a product manager, now you can. Within impact forecasting, this role will work in collaboration with the R&D, research and development, software, BD, and CAT management teams to deliver models for the quantification of natural hazard risk. Roles and responsibilities. This person, this product manager, would be required to build and maintain an end-to-end product development plan. I would strongly encourage you, you might not be a product owner yet, but if you are within the threshold of a business analyst, a scrum master, a project coordinator, you can just learn, you can just bring yourself up to speed with the product manager skills, right? So the end-to-end product development plan is really nothing but your software development life cycle. You decide on a product, or you decide on an iteration of a product, talking about improving that product. Now you need to have a plan, the end-to-end plan of how to develop that product. So if you're within this threshold that I just mentioned, this is within your skill set. So please feel free to apply for this. If not, feel free to get a crash course on those and apply for this. This includes definition of market requirements, go-to-market planning, and product launch. So your software development life cycle is one, but in addition to that, they want you to be able to include the definition of market requirement. What does the market want? Remember, you're building this product to release to the market. What does the market want? It's go-to-market planning. It's the same as your go-to-market strategy. Are you going to go to market with a minimum viable product, meaning the minimum but most effective with all the functionalities of this product, and look to improve it later? Or go-to-market strategy, meaning are you going to go to market with the minimum improvement that you've done to this product, or the minimum implementation you've done to this product, and look to build on it later? Or are you going to wait and go to market when the product is totally complete, right? And then you also need to have a plan for your product launch. And then you have to support the R&D leadership, research and development. Of course, they have to do research and develop a product, in maintaining the ongoing product roadmap, and validate priorities with Aon and client. Work with business and development team to outline a clear value proposition tailored to target market segment. Engage with client and prospects to introduce solutions and support model validation. Remember, it's not just any client. Aon is a consulting firm. This role is already on the client side, the customer side. So you would be talking to the stakeholders, trying to introduce solutions and support their business model. Partner with client-facing teams to build adoption and usage of solutions and analyze findings, right? If your team is actually working on developing a product, you should be very comfortable, partnering with the client, being very client-facing, teaching them how to adopt, also the usage of the product. Skills and experience that will lead to success. 6 to 8 years in product management and 5+ years of confirmed experience in catastrophe modeling or usage and interpretation of catastrophe model output. Bachelor's degree in relevant subjects as such as atmospheric science, hydrology, geography, etc. Experience working with teams located across multiple locations, multiple continents, and time zones. That's just asking you to be flexible. Understanding the technical/business needs to support the implementation of product features and capabilities. I don't want this to scare you. Like I always tell my audience, if you are 60% qualified for the job posting or within the job description, go ahead and apply for it. There's something called learning on the job, right? So this 6 to 8 years in product management and 5 years of confirmed experience in catastrophe modeling does not necessarily count, right? If you have a background in product management or in a software development cycle type experience, right, like an agile experience, feel free to apply for this role. This is within your skill set, like I mentioned before. We support our colleagues. In addition to our comprehensive benefit package, we encourage a diverse workforce, plus our agile, inclusive environment allows you to manage your well-being and work-life balance, ensuring you can be your best self at Aon. Furthermore, all colleagues enjoy 2 global well-being days each year, encouraging you to take time to focus on yourself. We offer a variety of working style solutions, but we also recognize that flexibility goes beyond just the pace of work, and we are all for it. We call this smart working. So here, the pay transparency laws. The salary range for this position is 110 to 140 annually. The actual salary will vary based on applicants' education, experience, skills, and abilities, as well as internal equity and alignment with market data. I'll tell you, like I said before, please feel free to negotiate. Do not think they're going to take the job away from you. If you are qualified, you will get the job. And if you're qualified, they might need an executive approval to pay you more. But always remember, negotiate your pay. Even if you cannot get more than this, ask for a performance-based sign-on bonus. Ask for a sign-on bonus, which is a one-time payment, right? Always ask for that. With that being said, next job posting from Aeon, which is the account specialist 1. This job is located in Boston, Massachusetts. Category is under the account management. Of course, jumping into the job description here, Aeon is seeking an account specialist for a hybrid role based in our Boston, Massachusetts office. So remember, you have to be flexible. This is talking about hybrid, but there's no harm in asking if you can work remote. There's another way you can go about this is you get the job, you win the trust of your manager, and then you ask to be fully remote. That can always be done, right? Aeon is in the business of better decisions. At Aeon, we shape decisions for the better to protect and enrich the lives of people around the world. What the day will look like. The account specialist will assist account executive and associate account executive on assigned account, running key processes that serves client and undertake the client facing and internal activities related to this process. Account specialists would also assist brokers as vital, particularly on commercial risk business. How is this opportunity different? From helping clients gain access to capital after natural disaster to creating access to healthcare, the retirement for millions, Aeon colleagues empower results for our clients, communities, and each other every day. Let's jump straight to the skills and experience that will lead to success. Right here, you have to demonstrate strong interpersonal and project management skills. Remember, I actually mentioned in the very beginning that you need these project management skills or Scrum Master skills or business analyst skills. Uses a detailed approach to maintain regular contact with clients, maintain rapport and open, effective communication, performs account servicing functions including miscellaneous office duties in support of account servicing, manages client open items, list and responds to client ad hoc requests, actively support and monitor the renewal process, where applicable serve as a primary interface with Aeon client services, coordinating activities of the client services teams and ACS to ensure that key processes assigned are performed effectively. I'm not just going to read through all of this. Understands best practices and leverages available resources, including centers of excellence and ACS. Education, associate degree, preferred or equivalent work experience. And you must have a broker license that is preferred, or you can acquire within the 90 days of a start date. So I don't see this to be a showstopper in any way. You can work towards getting your brokerage license within 90 days from your start date. And of course, Aeon has a way they support their colleagues. In addition to our comprehensive benefit package, we encourage a diverse workforce, plus our agile, inclusive environment allows you to manage your well-being and work-life balance, ensuring you can be your best self at Aeon. I think I read through this before from the other job description. And then the pay transparency law. The salary range for this position intended for U.S. applicants only is $60,000 to $82,000 annually. Remember, like I said, you can negotiate, you can ask for a performance-based bonus, and then also ask for a one-time sign-on bonus. Remember, for the sign-on bonus, if you tend to leave the company within a set period of time, you might have to pay back that money. So that's something you need to take into consideration. The actual salary will vary based on applicants' education, experience, skills, and abilities. Without me going through all of. Hello everyone, welcome to Delta Staffing, the channel that brings to you up-to-date job postings. Today we're going to be looking at two job postings, one of them being from FedEx. I know you never thought FedEx would have a work from home position, and the second one would be from Zillow. Please do not forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and turn on your notifications. With that being said, let's review these job opportunities together. Okay, so just like I mentioned, we will be looking at two requirements, and the first one is a program manager lead at FedEx. I know you would not envision FedEx to have a work from home opportunity. This is a full-time role. Is it remote? Yes. It's actually all over the United States, so feel free to apply. And of course, to apply for this role, just go to FedEx Careers and search for program manager lead role, and it should pop this role out for you. The description summary here is really responsible for coordination, execution, and status reporting of complex, cross-functional, and cross-opco program with a large technology component. This person would also be expected to lead large project efforts and manage issues resolutions across all phases of the cross-opco operational programs, right? And of course, this person is also expected to have an established knowledge, or of course establish and implement project management processes and methodologies for the department. Of course, it could be an agile methodology, it could be a waterfall methodology, it could be a hybrid kind of methodology. Whatever they think is the best for the organization is what they should be doing. They need someone that has a prior knowledge of the software development lifecycle, from your design phase to your build phase to your QA phase, and of course go live and hypercare. Feel free to apply to this role if you've had prior knowledge as a project coordinator, project manager, a scrum master, even a business analyst who is aspiring to become a product or project manager. With that being said, this person needs strong internal communication skills, able to communicate complex data in a simple format to share decisions, process, update, and trade-offs to a large audience. Bonus point would be for this person to have had experience within high growth tech startup. Would also be strong influencing skills to guide leadership, business architect, product owners, agile release trends, and all stakeholders to understand visions, resources, priorities, and definition of a completion/release. Strong ability to tailor communications of complex concept to all levels in an understandable manner. Right, and I'll just jump to the minimum qualifications here. Would be a bachelor's degree or equivalent in business or related quantitative discipline. A 5-year exempt experience in project/program management, product development, system design, development of business, financial planning and analysis. Experience in the use of project management planning software, experience in planning major projects including development of project proposal, business cases, schedules, and financial justifications. And by no means do you need to have all of this. If you have 2 or 3 of these 5 qualifications, feel free to apply. I'm just going to jump to the salary here. The expected salary range is between $9,000 to $14,000 a month. Of course, if you do well during the interview phase, you can negotiate to get the maximum amount, even if it requires executive approval. Remember to ask for sign-on bonuses. Remember to ask also for performance-based bonuses, and of course shares if they are available. Please go ahead, apply to this job. Let me know what you think. If you need my help, again, comment in the comment section and I would be sure to help you. I could also help you through a one-on-one session or a resume review, whatever it is. Just put in the comment section and let's go through it together. With that being said, we're jumping into the second job requirement of the day, which is a senior product manager with Zillow, right? A product manager is someone that has a very good understanding of a product or even a service or a process, right? So this person would be the liaison between the development team and of course the product team, which is the business team. This person would be the head of a frontline product team that drives the technology roadmap and enables the frontline operators to grow revenue while providing excellent partner and customer experience. They would partner with the engineering team to build these experiences and manage the core portfolio. Right, this person would also need to be involved with the third-party corporate applications like Salesforce, engagement, analytics, and communication tools. So about this role, this person would be a strategic, analytical, and innovative problem solver who is passionate about delivering delightful technology experience for internal teams. This person would be involved in defining the sales technology roadmap, informed by company objective and growth strategies, customer insight, and of course the technology landscape in partnership with engineering, operations, sales, and marketing teams. So of course, just like I spoke about in the last role, this person would also need that knowledge of working within the software development life cycle environment, be it an agile methodology, waterfall methodology, or even a hybrid methodology, working with development team. This person would apply quantitative and qualitative research to rapidly test, measure, and iterate on new product and feature ideas to increase value and reduce risk. So this person needs to understand that MVP process. What will be their go-to-market strategy? Are they going to just release the minimum viable product, or are they going to stage the minimum viable product and keep building onto it iteratively, or are they going to release it and keep building and releasing seamless improvement to that particular product? So they need to understand that. This person would act as a product owner in an agile scrum ceremony to ensure effective delivery of product initiative. Of course, this person has a better understanding of what a requirement complete is because he or she knows the requirement inside out. And when the Scrum team needs to refine requirement, this is the person they turn to. The salary here is between $139,000 and $222,000. Again, always remember to negotiate your salary. Whether you find yourself within these states or not, always remember to negotiate your salary. You might actually get the maximum amount here, depending on how you did on your interview. And also remember to always ask for a sign-on bonus and of course a performance-based bonus and shares if there are any, right? With that being said, go ahead, apply to these jobs. Let me know what your feedbacks are. If you need me to have a one-on-one session with you, I'm available. Just leave me a comment or a note in the comment section, or if you want me to review your resume, I'm all up for it. And briefly, let's just jump into the qualifications here. 4 years as a product manager with direct product ownership, experience operating in an agile development environment, proven experience driving product development within the sales tech ecosystem, conversant in UI design. You're not expected to be hands-on, but just working with the UI UX designs, understanding their mock-ups or wireframes, and of course making sure that each wireframes or mock-up has the basic functionality to meet your MVP. Excellent decision-making skills, able to make trade-off decisions, product decision solutions and suggestions are accurate and successful when judged over time, right? And that was it for today. Like I said, please feel free to apply and let me know what you think, and if this was value added. Hi everyone, welcome to Delta Resource Staffing, where we bring you up-to-date postings from a job requirement standpoint, bringing to you the best the job market has to offer in these trying times. We all know the job market has been very funny, going up and down. We don't know if we're in a recession, but from my own perspective, I think we're in a recession. So with that being said, we try here at Delta Resource Staffing to bring to you guys all the necessary information, the companies that are hiring and how much they are paying, and if it makes sense in this economy, right? So with that being said, we are going to be talking about GoFundMe today, the requirement at GoFundMe, and of course we're also looking at this job posting from Pi Insurance. Just a little bit about myself. Again, I like to do this in all of my videos so I know what I'm talking about. I've been in the software development ecosystem for over a decade now. I've worked across multiple industries. Think about it, I'm not necessarily industry or vertical specific. I work across multiple industries. I'm very familiar with the Scrum processes, the waterfall processes, even though I'm very hands-on from a software development standpoint. I'm also very, client-facing. I could play an advisory role. I could, jump into a project or Scrum Master role, business analyst role, developer role, technical or solutions architect type role. So I actually know exactly what I'm talking about, and within this space is where we've seen a whole lot of growth and a whole lot of resources being hired in the last couple of months. So stay tuned as we jump into it. A compliance analyst role with GoFundMe. This is very straightforward. I'm not going to waste too much time jumping into the job description and all of that, but I'll tell you what this role is talking about. Think about GoFundMe. GoFundMe is an organization that helps people in need, maybe college funds, funeral expenses, people who are trying to buy a car, buy a house, whatever you need help with. They come here to GoFundMe and they set up an account and people go there and contribute. So basically they are crowdsourcing, right? So I'll tell you this, a compliance analyst is someone who looks through each GoFundMe account to understand that customer, understand what they're doing. Is it fraudulent? Should they be opening an account for something like this? And you should also understand that GoFundMe would have a list of occasions or list of things that you should not be opening a GoFundMe account for. For example, they want this resource to be able to do a watch list screening to make sure, okay, this person is not a politically exposed person, right? This person is not a terrorist, or this person is not trying to finance a terrorist group or is into a terrorist organization. Consumer complaints. They should also be looking into the complaint of the consumers, meaning the customers, and other financial crimes, right? So this role is really saying you can be our third eye or our second eye. Make sure people are not misusing our dashboard, our tool, our application, whatever name you want to call it, right? Now, for this individual, they need to have minimum of 3 years experience working in payment, compliance, and on risk management operation. I'll tell you this, for the people that have actually worked in AML, anti-money laundering, this would be a good role for you, right? I didn't even see this. Look. In-depth knowledge of aspect of AML programs. I didn't even know AML was actually written here. But this would be a good role for people who have worked in anti-money laundering roles, knowing your customers, your KYC and all of that. Of course, trust me, I know all these things because my wife is an AML analyst, so I always pay attention to our job, so I know. Excel individual metrics and adhere to these level agreements, meaning there will be a timeline for you to be able to do or perform a particular task, right? So you should not be exceeding that timeline, or maybe your customers should not exceed a particular day of getting funds or crowdsourcing. That's a service level agreement. So each stage of the business process should have or would have a service level agreement. And maintain strong quality standards while contributing to improving the team's operational performance. Confidently maintain clear and concise communications with colleagues while working in a remote or hybrid environment. So in today's world, while working remotely, companies tend to provide their workers with communication applications, right? It could be Teams, it could be anything. It could be Teams or any other tool, but the ability for you to IM your coworker if you had a question or if you needed help, and of course being online, that is very important. Understand how non-profit organizations operate throughout North America and internationally, as well as risks present with non-profit industries. So understanding the do's and don'ts of a non-profit organization, making sure they have their 501c, I think that's what that document is called, strong comprehension skills and ability to make sound decisions based on facts and context. So just read through this, and I'm just going to jump right into the salary. Here, the salary is not as competitive as the other two I shared, but of course, it's between 60 and 85,000 plus equity and benefit. Now, this is a very big one. Do not forget to ask for equity. Some employers would put this here, but when they're putting together your offer letter, they will not or might forget to put this equity. So remember to ask, right? I was once, I think back 2014, with a firm who ended up getting acquired while I was still working with them, but they gave me some equity, some shares within the organization, and trust me, that was a big payday for me. So always remember to ask this, right? And with that being said, let's jump over to our last position of the day, which would be with Pi Insurance. This is a great place to work based on the reviews on Glassdoor, Career Builder, and all of that. So Pi Insurance is looking for a business systems analyst. What is a business systems analyst? This is nothing but a business analyst who can configure the system. This is nothing but a role of an administrator who can play the role of a business analyst and also configure the system. So this role would require the business analyst sitting down with the business stakeholders or the business team or the product team to understand their requirement, translate it from a technical requirement into a technical requirement, of course store it in Jira or Microsoft Azure, again, whatever tool is being used. And when they get into the build phase of the engagement or the project that they're currently working on, this individual is also expected, or might not be, but just to go over and above and beyond, this individual is expected to also get hands-on with implementing this, at least from a declarative standpoint, point and click, nothing programmatic, right? So let's dive into this. PI's mission is to empower small business to thrive by making commercial insurance affordable and as easy as pie. Right? We leverage technology to transform how small businesses buy and experience commercial insurance. So let's just go straight to what is required of you, right? So as a business system analyst, let's go into what is required of you. Business system analysts are experts in our business and the technology that supports our business. Exactly what I said. They understand the business requirement and also understand the tool, the technology. Their goals are to improve the quality of technology service provided to businesses through the design and documentation of requirements, just like I had mentioned, and leverage native system functionality to simplify overall process and solution. So nothing customized, nothing programmatic. It's just what is required of you is to understand the tool, configure the tool from a declarative standpoint. Business system analysts are part of a team of technical architects, developers, and other team members who work in service of streamlining our operational journeys. So this is a Scrum team, and you're supposed to be a business analyst, right? Your role would be collaborating with stakeholders to understand their business requirements and identify areas where technology can be leveraged to optimize business processes. I think I expatiated on this. You would be responsible for evaluating and recommending SaaS solutions. So you will not, as a business analyst, be recommending. This is the work of a solutions architect that they mentioned, or technical architect that they talked about here, right? So your job would be to capture the requirements, store it, understand it, translate it from business requirement to technical requirement. You are not required to recommend SaaS solution. That is not within your willpower. Developing detailed specifications and project plan, no, this is the role of a Scrum Master or a project manager, right? This is not your role, except you will be playing a business analyst role plus a project manager role. Implementing and testing systems and features, this is your role. You will implement, you build a test plan and pass it over to the product owner to finally put a pass on it or rework. Providing training and support to end users, this is your role. Maintain strong analytical problem solving, communication, and project management skills are essential to succeed in this role. That is true. How you would do it? Design. So design and track requirement through the project lifecycle, including process mapping, validation, and desired outcomes. So you would be involved in design, but the chief designer would be the technical architect. You would just be here to help out from a requirement standpoint. Curate user stories representing the voice of the customer with clear problem statement, acceptance criteria, and operational value statement. This is your role. So you would write user stories. I would also create a video in the future on how to write a clear and concise user story, persona-based user story. I'll also create a video to show how to write a concise and straightforward persona user story. Execution. Create and maintain test scenarios, test script, and test data in collaborations with business partners, validating system designs, configurations, integrations, and performance. Provide training and support to end users, including developing training materials and conducting training sessions. Of course, collaborate It's really straightforward. Would be lead in business processes, department, functional group activities on a regular basis to understand business needs and challenges and facilitate improvement. Work with business partners in identifying technical debt and capability gaps, right? And support the project managers and business managers to define project scope, schedule, resource, and budget requirements. So this is the role of a project manager or a scrum master. So you just work closely with them. The right stuff, right fit to the right seat. 3+ years of experience working in business, systems analyst or business analyst role, bachelor's degree. Again, experience count, but of course you don't need to satisfy all this experience to be able to get this role. Willingness to travel 15% of the time, so this would amount to roughly 3 times a year. Ability to travel. And of course, the biggest part here is the base compensation, 95,000 to 130,000 US dollars. Again, remember to negotiate and remember to read through this compensation and benefits here, but by no means go on their website, the careers, and apply to these roles that I just presented to you. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel and also click on the like button, or go into the comment section and just let me know what you think. If you have any kind of questions, I'm working on adding a resume template and also a link where you can reach me one-on-one for personal coaching. Really looking forward to working with everyone. Thank you, and see you guys soon. Hi everyone, welcome to Delta Resource Coaching. We're here to bring you unbelievable opportunities in the job market. We all know how the job market has been very funny, but we're here to help. With that being said, let's go right to it. So a brief introduction about myself. My name is Salz from Delta Resource Staffing. And we're here to bring you the job opportunities that you've been looking for. I have over a decade of experience within software development and designing. I've worked within the agile methodology, within the waterfall methodology, so I know a lot about software development, technical roles, functional roles, understanding requirements, translating requirements from a business terminology to technical terms, of course storing those requirements in a requirement traceability matrix or whatever tools you might be using. Could be Jira, could be Microsoft Azure, whatever tools you might be using. I'm very familiar with those kind of terms. Of course, I could play the role of a designer, developer, being very hands-on, and of course playing an advisory role. I could also jump into the project management role, the program management role from an agile perspective, or even a waterfall perspective. I can play the role of a product owner as long as I understand the requirement, and also play the role of a business analyst. So trust me that I can guide you in this journey to getting your next best job. With that being said, we have jobs from Netflix, from GoFundMe, and from Pine Insurance. So let's start from General Motors. So this role is really talking about a commercial hardware sales manager. Think about it. What do General Motors do? The first thing for you to do is to understand what kind of industry this is. This is an automotive and energy industry, right? So they're looking for hardware sales manager. Don't let people fool you to say this is a program manager role. I've actually heard a couple of people try to, when they see manager, they think this is a project manager or program manager type role. Well, let me start by saying, what is the difference between a project manager and a program manager, right? A project manager manages projects, which is a subset of a program. So a program manager will be managing multiple projects at the same time. That is the only difference between these two roles, right? So without diving deep into this, let's just go through this job description. The first thing that jumps out to me here is the fact that we need to be okay with 25 to 30% travel. What does that equate to in terms of a 12 calendar month or a year? So 25% to 30%, at least you should be able to travel once every 3 months. 12 divided by 4, which is 25% of the year, is 3. So every 3 months you should be available to travel. It could be Monday through Thursday, it could be Monday through Wednesday, it could be within the week, but that is something that you might want to talk to your hiring manager about, right? And then going down to the job description here, this sales manager would be responsible for driving commercial hardware sales across its 6 existing and new General Motor Energy customers, right? And of course, work closely with product managers to define the best commercial approach. So the word here is product manager. Who is a product manager? This is someone that actually, a product can be a service or it could be a physical thing. So from a physical thing or from a physical product standpoint, this product manager is that person that knows this product inside out, right? This person probably was involved in the production of this, or this person was probably involved in the generation of this product from inception to go live or to finish, right? So this person knows that product inside out. Now from a service standpoint, it could be someone that understands the business processes and the different teams that are involved in these business processes inside out. This commercial hardware sales manager would be working with this product manager to define the best commercial approach, because this person, this product manager understands this product inside out. This role would also interface with internal stakeholders such as purchasing, marketing, strategy, legal, and privacy team to align corporate processes to deliver the ideal customer experience. Develop channel relationship with local and global partners, including solar companies. So this person would actually work with the team, with his or her team, to develop channel relationship with local and global partners. So before you join, understand that General Motors actually have a channel of distribution, meaning selling their product. So this person would be involved in fostering that relationship with the local and global partners that are already working with General Motors, and take that relationship from where it is to where General Motors would actually want it to be in the future. Support development of optimal pricing and financing strategies around warranty, financing, after sale needs of the customer. Additional description down here, let's jump into this, will be passion for closing deals and moving the dial. So this person, this is more of a nurture than a nature, right? This person needs to have that motivation to be able to close deal, be able to sell this product to customers. It could be a B2B, I'm not sure. This is, I think this is a B2B. Demonstrate excellent interpersonal skills required. This person should be able to demonstrate interpersonal skills, effectively collaborate, motivate, and facilitate others in group situations. Desire to work in a complex and evolving environment, and to bring an innovation mindset. So this person needs to think out of the box and needs to be able to work in a complex, evolving, and even a fast-paced environment. Excellent written and verbal communication skills, team player attitude, internally and externally, and of course, we spoke about the willingness or the ability to travel 20 to 30% of the time. And here is the big thing here. The expected base compensation for this role is 124,500 to 190,692. Now let me tell you this. I've noticed that also as an Americans, we do not negotiate. You can always negotiate. And of course, when you're doing multiple rounds of interviews, you might even have a higher paying role, but then you might like General Motors better, and you could use that offer letter to actually talk to General Motors. They can match you. Now, with that being said, this is a base salary, right? You can also request for what I call a performance-based bonus, or and a sign-on bonus, right? You just have to be reasonable with it. Performance-based bonus is going to be rated based on your yearly review or quarterly review or media review, however that company does their review. And then you can also get a one-time sign-on bonus, which is going to be paid to you maybe 3 months into your employment, however the company wants to structure it. But there's always a caveat to that you might not or you will not be leaving the company within a period of time, and if you do, you would have to pay them back that sign-on bonus. But I'm telling you this, be ready to negotiate. Don't just go with whatever you see here. Always be open to negotiating. Here it says actual base compensation within the identified range will vary based on factors relevant to the position. So here it could be that where you are, it's a state with a lower cost of living, so they might not pay you up to the 190. Maybe people in New York, California might get this rate, but if you live in like Texas, no state taxes or things like that, they might not pay you above up to this. But again, remember, always negotiate. Bonus potentials. An incentive pay program offers payout based on company's performance, job level, and individual performance. So these are the 3 metrics that actually makes up that bonus I spoke to you about when I said performance-based bonus. So always be ready to negotiate. With that being said, jump right in, apply for this job, read their benefits guide. And this job is a remote position, so you can actually do this job from anywhere, right? Okay, and then the next big one is the external support engineer for Netflix, right? This falls within my skill set, so I can tell you that anyone who's willing to learn, anyone who has a little bit of coding background, anyone who understands how to read C++ should actually apply for this role. I think this is a very good role. So here it talks about external support engineer. The external support engineer is responsible for helping and supporting external content creation teams. So I have to tell you this, I currently work for a content creation company, so I know exactly what this role entails. And this person will use the tools provided by the internal development team. They are the bridge between the content team and the tools engineering team. The content team is really nothing but the business team, right? The product team. And of course, the tools engineering team could be the people who are directly implementing that tool based on the business team requirement. They are the first point of contact when content team runs into issues with tools, and filter issues and feedback to the tools team. So the support engineer here, think of it as a support level 1, right? you would be the first point of contact. There's no need to bother the implementation team who is implementing that tool in the back end at the very first step. So you being a support engineer, you should know that tool at least from an intermediary standpoint, right? So when they reach out to you, you now start to debug that tool to understand what the problem is. Why are they facing this issue? Is it a glitch? Is it a defect from that application that is being used? Or is this a bug fix that needs to be fixed, right? So you kind of analyze what is going on. If it is within your willpower, you can fix it. If not, then you now kind of escalate it to the tools engineering team. This is what this role really entails. And your responsibilities would be to provide technical support to content/external team in regards to the use of content tools, create reference materials, and provide training to get external teams up to speed with the tool set. So this line here, this line item really talks about the tools engineering team would be involved in the initial implementation of this tool based on the business requirement. Now, when they are done, you being the support engineer in this role will have to come into a training role to understand what was built and build kind of a reference material, right, that you would use to train maybe the pilot users, or if it's a small company, the entire users, and then they would follow this reference material and walk through the content that you've created to actually understand exactly what was built by being hands-on, right? And when this is done, then you now assume the role of debugging possible issues. So if there are issues based on this reference material, like creating a record, you might go into the application, being the end user, they create a record and they see some issues. Being that you created this reference material, you can quickly debug that and insert the right data or the right record. And in a situation where you cannot do that, then you can reach out to the tools engineering team and they can fix that. And then this point talks about solving and debugging possible issues with tools and workflows to quickly resolve issues for the user. So this is during the training and of course when that product actually goes live. Escalate more complex or problematic issues to the tool development team. If you remember when I spoke to you about this particular point, that you are the first point of contact doesn't mean you are expected to fix everything. If you cannot fix complex issues, you can escalate it to the tool development team. And of course, you should understand using Jira. It's very basic. If you do not have experience with Jira, Microsoft Azure, CMC, requirement traceability metrics, these are just tools that are used to store the technical requirement. And of course, there are different phases. It could be in a backlog, it could be in the current sprint, it could be in the sprint that had ended. You're using this to make sure that you're not overworking or overloading the team or even a resource, right? So you can just go on YouTube and watch a video on Jira, right? If you do not have the experience, but it's very basic, it's very straightforward, it's something you can learn. And I will tell you this, if you do not have an Agile or Scrum Master certification, I'll tell you this would be, you can even do it after you get a role related to this, but it's a very nice to have certification. Go get it. It's a 1 weekend kind of boot camp where you get your foundation, Scrum Foundation certification, and all these things would now become a playground to you. Now, advocate for tools, workflow improvement, and suggestions from external teams. Partner with other engineering teams to develop tools, or engineers to develop tools and processes that improve efficiency and quality. guide or lead cross-disciplinary dialogues to drive features from initial concept to completion. So let me just try to see if I can explain this to you, right? So within an organization, yes, you are the support resource, but sometimes you might be brought into discussions to say, okay, how can we improve this tool? What can we do? And if you're a very good resource, you can actually be promoted from just being a support resource to be part of the tool engineering team, right? So be ready to have discussions with other teams, internal or external, to drive features from initial concept to completion. So whenever a requirement comes up, you might be pulled in, maybe playing the role of a business analyst here. Just sit down, understand the business requirement, ask questions. How would you want the system to look like when this application goes live, right? So at that point in time, because you have a background knowledge of the tool, you can play the role of a business analyst. And of course, within the organization, you can even grow to become a product owner because you understand how their businesses are being done, right? Exemplify reliability, accountability, and professionalism in all work-related interactions. Skills and ability. So let me highlight this one. The ability to read and understand C# code is very important. I know earlier on where I called it C++. That was my bad. It's C#, right? You can actually go on Udemy and buy a course with $22 or lower. You can buy a course. Udemy is not sponsoring this video by any means, and no publisher on Udemy is sponsoring this video, so I'm not going to head on to Udemy and show you any C# video. But you can go on Udemy, search for C# for beginners or introduction to C#, get to understand how to read and understand the C# codes, right? That's all you need. Of course, with you looking for a new job or a career change, it's not going to be straightforward. But of course, for you to break the next level, you have to break a glass. And when you break a glass, you have to bleed. What is that blood? It's your time, right? So put in your time. You could apply for the job, but do a crash course on understanding how to read a C# code. Again, udemy.com. Just go there, look for C# for beginners, and do a crash course on it just to understand. It's not that complex. Please do not forget to hit the subscribe button and the like button so you do not miss any valuable videos that I will be bringing to you from a job update standpoint. With that being said, talk to you soon, my friends.